Welcome to Egypt, and in particular to the Nile, to the valley of the Nile. This is a village called Gebel El Tir, and we have come here because it is an important pilgrimage place for Christians in Egypt. It's a small village and an old church near to the town of Samarut. It's about 220 kilometers south of Cairo, and as you can see, the countryside is lush and green, and it's very hot. Gergis, I have known you now for 4 years, and it's kind of you to agree to just talk for people in England. Can you just tell me something about yourself? How old are you now?
Now I'm 22 years.
22?
22.
And I know that you have just finished your college. What were you studying in college?
I'm studying fine arts.
Fine arts.
Fine arts.
All your family are Christians?
Yes.
There are many Christians in Egypt.
I think there is 30% Christian.
30% Christian?
Yeah.
That's a lot of Christians, isn't it?
Yes.
What's it like to be a young Christian here? What's your life like? How often do you go to church?
I often go to church in the morning and in the night, every day. When I in Samarut.
Twice a day?
Twice a day. In the morning go to church and the mass. Every day there is mass.
Every day there's mass?
Yes. Yes. And after that eat breakfast.
With your friends?
Well, in the club, near the church. Youth club. After that return into my house at 2 o'clock and sleep. And after that go to club at 7:30.
This is during the vacation?
Yeah, when I am in Samarut.
In Hurghada it is not possible. Are the churches in Hurghada?
1 week only.
Once a week only? Yes. It is not so easy. And tell me something about how you would spend your evenings.
In Samarut.
In Samarut.
Yeah, in Samarut, went to club.
There are many people who go to the club? How many people go to the club?
I think 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah. People, young and old people, and yes.
I know that it's very different from England, where maybe a club has 10, 20 people. 1,000? And how many people go to church?
I think many. There's many people go to church.
Who go to the church?
Every day.
Yes.
And Sunday and Friday, many people.
And what's it like? I mean, you live with Muslim neighbors. What is the relation like with your Muslim neighbors?
I think relation is very good. Good. I have many friends.
And what is it like? Do you find that it is difficult for you as a Christian in any way? Is it more difficult to get a job? Is it as easy as if you are a Muslim to get a job, to do well?
Yeah,
it's as easy.
Easy for me?
Mm-hmm.
No.
As a Muslim?
As a Muslim, easy.
It's easy as a Muslim, but
yeah.
not so easy for you.
Yeah.
So there is a way in which Christians are not as helped as much as the Muslim.
Yeah.
What about things like building churches, or if there are 1,000 people, you meet many churches. Is it easy to build a church?
Not easy. I think forbidden to build a church. If I wanted to build a church, I must give permission from the king.
From President
Mubarak.
Yeah. Mubarak.
Yeah.
No, the king went
Not
in,
the king.
in 1950.
Yeah. The minister, Brahma.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. Gergis, thank you. We're going to go to the church now and
Okay.
just have a look at that. But thank you for just introducing something about what it's like to be a young Christian in Egypt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shukran.
Welcome.
Shukran.
Okay.
Girgis, you came into this church a few minutes ago and you made a devotion. Why did you make that devotion?
The first thing when I go to church, I like to do like this, to pray my God.
Egyptians, I find, are a very devout people. You have a deep sense of devotion to God. This is something which is in the character of the Egyptian. It dates back perhaps as far as Pharaonic times. This sense of Ta'akmatun, who first identified that God was one. But the character of devotion is deeply there. Of course, it's also here in Egypt that the first monks began to live. St. Anthony, St. Paulus, St. Pachomius, St. Samuel, and they all lived here in this region, not many miles, not many kilometers from here. And although Sister is not a monk or a nun, I know that there are nuns here in Egypt, and of course many hundreds of monks. In a sense, the monastic life is flourishing again in places like Wadi Natrun, in Muharrak, in Deir Mari Girgis, and many different centers around. Can anybody become a monk? Can anybody become a monk? Anybody?
Anybody.
But they tend to be well educated.
If you want to
If
be,
you want.
You can become a monk. Can monks marry?
No.
No? Can the priests marry?
Yeah.
Yes. Can the bishops marry?
No, no.
No, no. So where do the bishops come from? The bishops come from the monasteries.
Is
right?
Syrian monastery.
From all the monasteries. A bishop can come from any monastery. And the Pope himself is a monk of which monastery? Pope Shenouda is a monk of Syrian. Bishoy, I think it is.
Bishoy.
It's Abba Bishoy.
Bishoy.
And just as men and women go to the desert to seek God, so people have come on pilgrimage to this cave, which sheltered the Holy Family during their flight into Egypt.
Girgis, would you just like to point out some of the things here?
Here, all these areas, the field and the housing.
Your sister lives here, I think.
Yeah.
She lives just over here?
Yeah.
And there are some churches here?
Yeah. And my church.
This is your church here.
And my club.
And here is your club.
My club. This is a desert. And mountain of Santa Maria here.
And what can we hear over the loudspeaker?
This is the Quran.
It is
Quran.
It is the Quran being read.
For Muslims.
Just over 120 kilometers north of Elminia lies the city of Beni Suef. Beni Suef is the provincial capital of a region around the Nile Valley, which numbers some 3.5 million people. When you visit the city, it's a quiet place. You'll find few private cars here, many taxis, many buses, many donkeys and bicycles. But the place itself is pleasant and situated on the west bank of the Nile. There's a large Christian population here, headed by its Bishop Athanasius. Bishop Athanasius, over the years, has developed very strong links with the Church of England, particularly through the work of CMS, and at times sends some of his seminarians to study in England, and particularly in Birmingham. We'll come here to spend time in retreat, time together. There's a group here from Sohag, down in Upper Egypt, but and this is Christina from Sohag and her family. But I have asked some of the young people who live in this area to talk a little about their life. Would you like to say something about what you do, where you're from, what your role in the church is, Amara?
I am in fourth year, Faculty of Education, Department of English, and here in Egypt we are related more to the church because it's from our childhood we bring up in the church. My role as when I get into the Faculty of Education, we help poor students and poor children in studying English and studying all the subjects. A group from my college, one for science, one for mathematics, and one for English. We help students to study more and more. In the church, we have a special schedule. We have special staff. We help prep school, first to second, third prep school. And it's wonderful for me to practice my job in the future. And for the students, we help them not to take private lessons, which is expensive for them. And this is in winter. And in summer, I serve in the church in university meeting. And help in church in anything they want.
Thank you, Mani. And then he films the The church that we have come into was rebuilt last year. It marks the site of where the Holy Family stayed during their flight into Egypt. Although it is a fairly small church, there are many, many people who come here, and I'm going to ask now why people come to this particular place each year in the month of August. I wonder if somebody would like to comment about the Moulid of the Virgin, which occurs every August. Nabil, can you tell us something about the Moulid?
Every year we celebrate the Ascension of Saint Mary, and we have to fast during this period, which is 15 days.
You fast from all food?
No, we eat just vegetarian food.
Vegetarian food?
We don't eat milk or
cheese, eggs,
butter.
Yeah.
Then this place is very crowded during this period of time.
How many people come here?
I didn't count them, but there are
10,000? 5,000?
Something like this. Very crowded.
More than 10,000.
People come from all over Egypt.
Yes.
They come from Bani Suef, the villages near to Bani Suef, and some other governorates. Many people come here to celebrate. Every day we have a mass here in this church.
Just one mass?
And yes, and in the evening we have a procession.
A procession?
Yes, for Saint Mary.
And what happens during the procession? We go around the site, or?
The deacons and the priests walk around the place singing songs, Coptic songs I mean, and carrying icons of Saint Mary's, after this they walk around the whole place, the whole monastery, praising, and they come to this church to raise the incense.
The incense.
The incense, yes. For the mass in the second day.
You have a great devotion to St. Mary in Egypt. Why do you have such a devotion to St. Mary?
Amani can answer this.
Amani.
Because she is the mother of Jesus, and we love her very much, and we ask her for our life, to ask God for us and help us here. And she actually makes a lot of miracles here in Egypt.
Yes.
And she appeared
the
apparition of Saint Mary in Cairo, in Zaytun, and another place in.
And I think
Shobra.
Some denominations here in Egypt doesn't have this devotion for Saint Mary. They put Saint Mary in a rank, lower rank.
Because she was the mother of Jesus, you give her special honor.
Yes,
it's in the Coptic tradition.
Yes.
And all of girls looking forward to be like Saint Mary, because if she isn't so very good, Jesus can't choose her to come through her.
Now we are in the baptism room. It is from the first church building here. That is the bell. That means Pharaonic pillar. You can see the Coptic capitals plugged here. You can see? Okay. I think the baptism process can be explained by Amani.
First, the family of the child come with the child, and the priest does a little small prayer, and then he brings the child, and he puts the child 3 times in the baptism the front by the name of the Father first, by the name of the Son second, by the name of the Holy Spirit, and then he
anointed him with oil.
yes, I anointed him with holy oil.
I think a number of times.
Yeah, 36 times in all his sensations to be blessing by God. And then the child dressed by white, and the priest put this in him, I think for to show that Jesus saved him by the blood, by his blood. And in the next day, the child take the Holy Communion, and then he sang a little song for the child, and he put it off. Yes.
Good, thank you. That's
You're
very
welcome.
good. now see something of the liturgical life of the Coptic Orthodox Church. To begin with, the celebration of the Eucharist on Palm Sunday.
Thank you.